Welcome to Thunder Live on FanDuel Sports Network, presented by Toyota. Let's go places. What a New Year's Eve party we had inside of Paycom Center. The Thunder defeating the Portland Trailblazers 124-95 on this annual tradition of playing on New Year's Eve inside of Paycom Center. And it was an offensive showcase for Oklahoma City, who scored 124 points. We had 7 different guys in double figures. 11 different players scored, and the Thunder now 17-1 at home after picking up their 70th win in the calendar year 2025. As we welcome you back inside of Paycom Center and into Thunder Live, I'm Paris Lawson alongside the Thunder's very own Royce Young. And this one was fun, Royce. The Thunder, they were humming offensively. Portland wasn't able to get to much of anything that they typically are able to get to that allows them to thrive. And that's the second chance points and getting out on the break and the free throw line.
The Thunder did a tremendous job just at the point of attack tonight, Paris. And, it just looked like an absolute challenge for the Trailblazers to simply dribble against OKC's defense. The Thunder were uptight. They were handsy. They were all over the ball all game long. Did an incredible job of just disrupting Portland's offense this entire game. The box score says 15 steals for the Thunder. It felt more like 50 because of how much OKC really just was, disrupting everything Portland did. And the Thunder also added 10 blocks. So that's 25 stocks in this one, steals plus blocks. The Thunder did everything you could want to do defensively. You stop the ball and you protect the rim. When you do those sorts of things against the team, it is very hard to score consistently, and that's what OKC did. And then they used all of that to add on to what they did offensively, getting out and really playing well in transition.
Yeah, the Thunder just firing on all cylinders in this matchup against the Portland Trailblazers. Let's bring in Chris Fisher and Michael Cage, who were on the call for all 48 minutes of this action. Guys, I mean, what better way to ring in 2026 than with this win?
Yeah, not much better than this, considering how well OKC controlled this game. And Michael, there was just so much to like, both offensively and defensively. I'll leave it up to you to kind of take us where you want to go with this one, because there were so many good things that happened.
Well, I like what Royce talked about. He pointed out some of the amazing stats. But, boy, if I could add to that, man, the 29 assists, the big numbers, 73 points in the first half. That's tough to come back from. You get 25 points off turnovers, 28 points off turnovers. 25 turnovers. So you get all these really polarizing numbers that collectively it takes everybody to do. If you could give out a game ball, I know we talked about Ajay Mitchell as the player of the game, but if we could give out a game ball, I would give it to Chet, SGA, because they were really the catalyst that got them started. But I thought the bench was fantastic with those 52 points. And, man, you can look at this stat sheet, folks, and just keep going on and on and on, because everything came together for the Thunder on this New Year's Eve night.
Really, on both ends of the floor. And Michael's absolutely right. I mean, there's so many different players who were deserving in this one. But it just goes to show, when you get a collective effort like this, just how damaging the Thunder can be on the defensive end and how efficient they can be on the offensive end. So great way to close out 2025. Paris and Royce, happy 2026.
Happy New Year, Chris and Mike, and we appreciate all that you've done in 2025. Looking forward to a great 2026 with you guys. All right, the Thunder, a lot to break down in this game. As Chris and Michael pointed out, a lot of different guys got involved. We saw a lot of offense, so we're going to do you a favor. We're going to roll the tape, take it from the top, and see how this game unfolded. Starting in the first quarter, OKC wasting absolutely no time thanks to Lou Dort.
The Blazers came out and they were cross-matching on Lou Dort in this one, and it enabled Lou to get a number of open looks. And I just love that Lou, he hit 4 of 10 from 3 tonight, but he stuck with it. He's somebody that is always confident and going to do that. And then back to this, we talk about the defense to offense. That's Chet blocking one at the rim, and then Chet decisively stepping into one, and that kind of semi-transition, second transition right there. I love the way that he just decisively stepped into it. And then SGA, I mean, that is just absolutely basketball poetry, the way that SGA plays. And then he could do it as well with the passing to Paris, the way that he leverages the defense against themselves.
Yeah, Shai had 6 assists in this game, and it felt like all of them were highlight worthy. Oklahoma City's offense absolutely buzzing. Credit to the Portland Trailblazers, because they were able to kind of keep this game within arm's reach in the first quarter, but the Thunder, they were not letting up offensively.
Again, that's the defense to offense. That's Chet with another block right there. And SGA, the floor is spread. You can kind of play random basketball, get mismatches where you want them. And SGA got a matchup that he liked, stepped into a three. But, the Blazers are a team that's going to continue to put pressure on you. Deni Avdija drives downhill constantly throughout the game. And the Thunder did a great job. How about Brandon Carlson again? Just the stay ready mentality, Paris, stepping in with some Thunder having some big men down. Isaiah Hartenstein, Jalen Williams not available. Brandon Carlson steps right in. How about Alex Caruso also had a huge imprint on this game just with his defense. He was on Avdija right off the gun and just did a great job of just disrupting him, using those hands. Nobody better in the league with their hands than Alex Caruso.
Yeah, in his first 3 minutes, Alex Caruso had 3 points and 2 steals. That is the most Alex Caruso thing I've ever heard. And what I love to see here as you see Ajay Mitchell with a little bit of a pick six opportunity is the diversity of the Thunder scoring. Look at this pass by Shai, an absolute laser at the buzzer to Brandon Carlson.
And that's for all you kids at home. That's why you dribble with your head up right there.
There it is. Fundamentals.
Absolutely. But the Thunder we talked about it, so often about how everybody can set up everybody. That's Kenrich throwing a lob to Chet right there. That's Chet dropping one off right there to Kenrich. That is just incredible team play from the Thunder. And that's what makes them so difficult to guard. This play right here, it was a baseline out of bounds play, Paris. I felt like everybody in the gym knew what was coming. They're going to run Isaiah Joe off of one. He still could get his shot off in a closet right there. Incredible job by him.
Yeah, Isaiah Joe finishing with 5 made threes in this ball game tonight. Incredible stuff by him. And you're going to notice how many different guys are getting involved for Oklahoma City. I feel like we've said just about everyone's name, and that's because 11 different players scored for Oklahoma City tonight.
I mean, Mike and Fish were talking about it. You just go through the box score and you can pick out a number of different things of guys that had great impact on the game overall. And, the Blazers, as you can see here, right, they're in this game here late second quarter, Paris, but this is what we so often see from the Thunder is when they can just hit you with a wave. And it is just right here. They turn you over. This was kind of a SGA, just easy. I like that Kamara was like, I'm not going to stop you. So I'm going to try to sell a foul right here, maybe. But the Thunder take what was a 9-point game and they are able to build upon it going into the break. And that is just so demoralizing for opposing teams who probably are just trying to look at that scoreboard and get to the break within striking distance against the Thunder, and instead they go the other way on you.
Yeah, that was a big bucket by Shai Gilgeous-Alexander because, to your point, the Portland Trailblazers, they tried to keep this game close, and in the third quarter, this is where Oklahoma City really opened the door on this game and was able to just stretch out their lead. Lou Dort with a couple of threes here. Big time buckets to force an early timeout by Portland.
Again, this is them cross-matching to Lou, and Lou hasn't shot the ball up to his standard. He was a 40% three-point shooter last year, but he is somebody that confidence never wavers, and so you can always go to him, and he's going to start making some. We've seen that so much from Lou Dort, but the Thunder, obviously, they just feast on transition. The Blazers didn't do a great job of getting back in this one, and that wasn't necessarily a steal or a turnover. That's a block and a run out. I mean, that is just defense to offense 101.
Yeah, defensive stops. I mean, look at the swarming pressure by Oklahoma City. We talked about it. Portland couldn't get anything easy tonight. Everything was really difficult, and all the shots they did come by were highly contested and just very difficult shots, and that's a credit to the Thunder's swarming, high-pressure defense.
And that was the last bucket you'll see from SGA. He had another 30-point game in under 30 minutes, his 11th of the season, which is just astounding that SGA is able to do that. He was 11 of 15 from the floor. Incredible efficiency from him. I love J-Dub right there, just running the floor, attacking. That's incredible. Just athleticism and speed that the Thunder play with. I also thought the Thunder played with a lot of speed, Paris, in their actions. Like the way Isaiah Joe ran off screens, the way that Casey Wallace ran off screens, where Aaron Wiggins ran off screens. They just really played with some speed and tempo and pace tonight.
Kind of gave Portland a taste of their own medicine. The Trailblazers want to be a team that plays fast, and the Thunder, to your point, not only out in transition, but in the half court, great tempo to all of their actions. Great look here by Isaiah Joe, knocking down a three-pointer. Big time buckets all game long by everybody that steps onto the court. You see the final score, 124-95. And look at these numbers here. Massively, massively high numbers in terms of field goal percentage, 16 made threes. But the one that gets me, Royce, the steals and blocks combined, the stocks, 25 for Oklahoma City.
The Thunder did just an unbelievable job. Again, like we talked about off the top, Paris, that when you're disrupting a team at the point of attack and you can pressure the ball like that, their counter to you is to try to go around you and get to the rim. Well, guess what? They did that, and Chet Holmgren, number 7, was standing right there, and he had 6 blocks in this one. It felt more like 16 blocks because Chet just eliminated anything at the rim for Portland in this game. Chet was just absolutely dominant on the defensive end.
He is such a game changer for this Thunder defense. This is his 8th career game with 6 or more blocks. Incredible stuff by Chet Holmgren. Great disruptiveness in this game. All right, let's get you over to the press room because Thunder head coach Mark Daigneault is addressing the media. What a way to close out 2025 with a win over the Portland Trailblazers 124-95. And after this game, our very own Nick Gallo got a chance to catch up with Ajay Mitchell.
AJ, the defense just seemed to tighten as the game went on. You allowed fewer points each quarter. How does this team go about learning in game and then applying it so quickly?
I think we learn really quick. Obviously, we try to make adjustments as soon as we see something, and we have great guys. They know how to play the game. They know how to play defense, so it's easy to make those adjustments.
Once again tonight, it seemed like your offense had the opponent on their heels. What's been key in terms of just the unpredictability on that end of the floor?
I think just staying aggressive, letting the game come to me, and then finding my teammates, finding plays for me, and just playing free.
Yeah, I don't know how somebody scores 17 points on only 4 shots, but you managed to do it. How have you been able to put so much pressure on the rim and get to the line the way you have?
I think my teammates helped me a lot, just giving me the space to drive and then finding the man and then just staying aggressive. That's been the message from the coaching staff and my teammates this whole year, so just trying to do that.
A night like tonight, New Year's Eve, everybody got involved. It seemed like everybody got into a rhythm. How good does this feel from the bench to the floor?
Oh, it's amazing. Seeing all the guys get on the court, be able to play, and just have fun. It's amazing, especially for New Year's Eve, so keep it that way for 2026.
Congrats, AJ. Happy New Year. Enjoy the celebrations.
Thank you. Happy New Year.
On New Year's Eve, everybody eats, and Ajay Mitchell certainly benefited from that with 17 points off the bench. Get this, on just 4 shots. He is our 4th player of the game. Talk about efficiency. Great game from AJ, especially on the offensive end.
It's so fun to watch AJ get better and better every single game that he plays, Paris. And, last season, before his injury, we could see a lot of this building with him. Just his commitment to defense initially, that's what got him on the floor. Moves his feet great, got great instincts. But as Coach Mark said there in the postgame, he plays at his own pace and he plays with a demeanor and confidence that also blends so well with his teammates, which is not an easy thing to do when you're stepping onto a team that when he did, it was #1 seed in the West. This is a really, really productive, good team with ambitious, good young players, and AJ slots right in, and he never feels out of character or out of place, just flows right within the offense, does his job. And a lot of that, I think, honestly, Paris, is the fact that he connects the floor as a point guard. He's very smart, but he just plays really good defense, and that's easy to fit in when you do those things.
Yeah, sometimes it's really easy to forget that he's only in his 2nd NBA season. He looks so mature and so poised as a 2nd-year player in the league. He had 17 of the Thunder's 52 bench points in this game. And you heard him talk to Nick Gallo. He said, look, when everybody's getting involved like that, it is so much fun out there on the court.
Oh, no question. And when you're passing to somebody, they make the shot, they throw it to you, you make the shot, everybody playing together. And again, it's fun to play like that. It's not fun to play against like that because that is hard to guard when you got your head just spinning in circles right everywhere you go, because you think you got Ajay Mitchell gapped up and bottled right there, and then he sprays one to the side, and Aaron Wiggins makes a one more to Isaiah Joe, who is suddenly wide open in the corner. That's hard to play against.
Yeah, defensively, you don't know where the offense is coming from. There's so many different sources out there on the court, and that's what makes the Thunder so potent and so dangerous, and why they were able to walk away victorious in their final game of 2025. But stick with us here on Thunder Live, because when OKC opens up 2026, they will do so in the Bay Area, taking on the Golden State Warriors for the 3rd time this season. We've got your scouting report on that matchup when we come back.